Objectives. At the end of this lesson, you'll be able to find out characteristics of leaf, find out venation in leaf, study types of leaf, identify phyllotaxy, study modifications of leaf, understand functions of leaf. The leaf. The leaf is lateral, flattened structure borne on a node of the stem. The leaves are the food manufacturing organs of the plant. It bears a bud in its axil. The axillary bud later develops into a branch. The leaves originate from the shoot apical meristems, which are small, isodiametric, and thin-walled and are arranged in an acropetal order. Leaf consists of three main parts: leaf base, petiole, lamina. Leaf base is the lowermost part of the leaf by which leaf is attached to the node. Leaf base bear two lateral small leaf-like structures called stipules. The petiole exposes the lamina to the sunlight. The lamina is a flat, thin, broad, and expanded part of the leaf with veins and veinlets. The middle prominent vein is called midrib. The sides of lamina form the margin and tip forms the leaf apex. Veins contain the vascular tissue and act as channel for the transport of food, water, and minerals, and the skeletal of lamina. Venation. The arrangement and distribution of veins and veinlets in the leaf lamina is called venation. The two main types of venation are reticulate, parallel. Reticulate. When the veins are irregularly distributed to form a network, it is known as reticulate venation. Parallel. When the veins are parallel to each other within a lamina and do not form a network, it is known as parallel venation. Types of leaves. On the basis of incision or indentation, leaves are of two types: simple leaf and compound leaf. Simple leaf. A leaf is said to be simple when its lamina is entire or is incised, but the incision do not reach the midrib in pinnate leaf or do not reach up to the tip of petiole in palmate leaf. Compound leaf. A leaf is said to be compound when its lamina goes down to the midrib, rachis, or to the petiole, so the leaf is broken up into number of segments called leaflets. Phyllotaxy. The arrangement of leaves on a stem or branch is called phyllotaxy. It results in the orientation of leaves in such a way that they receive maximum sunlight to perform the photosynthesis. It is of three main types: alternate or spiral, opposite, whorled. Alternate or spiral. A single leaf arises at each node alternately. Example, Hibiscus rosa sinensis. Opposite. A pair of leaves arise at each node and lie opposite to each other. Example, Calotropis procera. Whorled. When three or more leaves arise at each node and are in whorl or circle. Example, Nerium, oleander. Modifications of leaves. Leaves are modified to perform functions other than photosynthesis. It is of following types: tendril, spines, food storage. Tendril. Tendrils are thread-like green structures which are sensitive to touch and are capable of coiling around the support. Examples: Pisum sativum, Smilax, Gloriosa, etc. Spines. Spines protect plant from gazing animals and also reduce the area of transpiration. Examples: Opuntia, aloe, argimone, etc. Food storage. Food is stored in the leaves of Allium cepa. The leaves become fleshy and juicy due to storage of water, mucilage, and food material in aloe and portulaca. Functions of leaves. Leaves have following types of functions: primary or main functions, secondary or accessory functions. Primary functions of leaves. Photosynthesis. The principal function of the leaves is to manufacture organic food. The seat of photosynthesis is the green cells of leaf having chlorophyll. Transpiration. The loss of water from the leaf surface is known as transpiration. It is necessary to create force or tension in water column and thus cause ascent of sap. Gaseous exchange. It takes place in leaves through stomata during the process of photosynthesis and respiration. Secondary functions of leaves. Storage of food in leaf bases. Example, onion. Storage of water in the leaves of succulent nature. Example, bryophyllum, aloe. Protection. Secondary functions of leaves. Protection against browsing. By modifying into spines, leaves protect plants from grazing. Examples, opuntia and barberry. It reduces rate of transpiration when modified into phyllodes. Examples, acacia. They help in climbing the plants having weak stem when modified into tendrils and hooks. Examples, smilax. Reproduction. Secondary functions of leaves. Leaves help the plants in vegetative multiplication. Example, bryophyllum. Secondary functions of leaves. Leaves act as balances for floating when modified into roots. Example, salvinia. Secondary functions of leaves. Sexual reproduction. The leaves are modified into sepals, petals, stamens, and carpels to take part in sexual reproduction. Did you know? In Carica papaya, petiole is hollow, tubular, or fistula. Victoria amazonia has largest leaf, diameter of about 1.8 meter. Longest leaf is of Raphia vinifera, of about 10 to 15 meter. Summary. Let us summarize what we have learned. Leaf is a lateral outgrowth of stem developed exogenously at the node. Leaves are green in color to perform the function of photosynthesis. Leaves exhibit marked variations in their shape, size, margin, apex, and extent of incisions of leaf blade. Like other parts of a plant, leaves also get modified into other structures such as tendrils, spines for climbing and protection respectively. Objectives. At the end of this lesson, you'll be able to define inflorescence, find out types of inflorescence, study racemose inflorescence, study chymose inflorescence, understand types of chymose inflorescence, study solitary chyme, understand monocasial chyme, study dicasial chyme, understand polycasial chyme, study special types of inflorescences, study cynthium, understand verticillaster, find out hypanthotium. The inflorescence. The arrangement of flowers on a specialized branch on top of the plant, which bears flowers, is called inflorescence. The axis of the inflorescence is known as peduncle. Sometimes the flowers are borne singly. Such arrangement is said to be solitary. When the flowers are borne on the tips of branches or main stem, then it is solitary terminal. Example, poppy. When the flowers are borne in axil of a foliage leaf, then it is called as solitary axillary. Example, petunia, hibiscus, rosa sinensis. Types of inflorescence. There are three main types of inflorescence: racemose inflorescence, chymose inflorescence, special types of inflorescences. Racemose inflorescence. In racemose inflorescence, the main axis is capable of continuous growth and it does not end in a flower. The flowers show acropetal succession on the main axis. The older flowers are towards the base and younger flowers are towards the apex. Sometimes the main axis becomes shortened and the flowers become clustered. In such cases, the flowers are said to show centripetal succession. Here, older flowers are towards the margin and younger flowers are towards the center. Chymose inflorescence. In chymose inflorescence, the main axis ends in a flower since the peduncle stops growing. The flowers show basipetal succession. The oldest flower is at the apex and the youngest towards the base. When the flowers are clustered, the arrangement is said to be centrifugal. Here, the oldest flower is at the center and younger flowers are towards the margin. There are different types of chymose inflorescence: solitary chyme, monocasial chyme, dicasial chyme, polycasial chyme. Solitary chyme. This is the simplest type of chymose inflorescence where there is only a single flower. The flower may be terminal on a short peduncle or it may be axillary in position. Example, Thespesia, monocasial chyme. In this type of inflorescence, the peduncle ends in a flower. Subsequently, one branch of the peduncle develops at a lower level and ends in a flower. This type of branching is repeated. If the branches are produced on the same site, the inflorescence is said to be a monocasial helicoid chyme. Example, Hamelia, Drosera. If the branches are produced alternately in a zigzag manner, the inflorescence is called a monocasial scorpioid chyme. Example, Heliotropium, dicasial chyme. In this type of chymose inflorescence, the peduncle produces a flower at its tip. Subsequently, the peduncle produces two branches simultaneously at a lower level. They also end in flowers. This type of branching is repeated. If the inflorescence has only 3 flowers, where the central flower is the oldest and the side ones are younger, it is called a simple dicasial chyme. Example, Jasmine. If the inflorescence is branched, it is called a compound dicasial chyme. Example, Clerodendron, Ricea. Polycasial chyme. In this type of inflorescence, the main axis ends in a flower. Subsequently, the peduncle produces many branches and each branch ends in a flower. The flowers show centrifugal arrangement. Example, Hamelia. Special types of inflorescences. Some plants exhibit special types of inflorescence. These are of following types: Cyathum, Verticillaster, Hypanthodium. Cyathum. Here the inflorescence is highly reduced. It has a cup-shaped receptacle formed by the fusion of 5 bracts. On the surface of this cup, generally a yellow-colored nectar-secreting gland is present. A single female flower arises from the center of the cup. It is highly reduced and is borne on a long stalk. The male flowers are highly reduced and are produced in scorpioid manner from the axil of each bract. Example, Euphorbia pulcherrima, Verticillaster. Verticillaster is a special type of inflorescence seen in leucas. At each node of the stem, two axillary opposite chymose inflorescences develop on either side. Hypanthodium. In this type of inflorescence, the receptacle becomes spherical with a cavity inside. It opens to the outside with a small opening. Numerous small sessile flowers are produced from the inner surface of the receptacle. These flowers are of three types: male flowers, female flowers, and sterile female flowers, gall flowers. Example, ficus. Did you know largest Indian inflorescence is Amorphophallus? Largest inflorescence of the world is Pua raymondi, 32 feet. Petaloid bract is found in Bougainvillea. Cynanthium is open hypothendium. Summary. Let us summarize what we have learned. The flowers are arranged in different types of inflorescences. Inflorescence axis is called peduncle. Edible part of cauliflower is inflorescence. Synchronous is a composite or multiple fruit develops from hypanthodium inflorescence. In pineapple, ananas, and jackfruit, autocarpus, rachis, bracts, and perianth are used for eating. Verticillasta type of inflorescence is found in ocimum. Simple cluster of radial leaves with exstipulate and parallel venation and chyme or umbel inflorescence are the characteristics of Liliaceae. In family Gramineae, inflorescence is spikelet.